Hi. Okay, I feel really stupid having one of these on, but my mic on my webcam on my laptop is crap, and you would not be able to understand one word I was saying. Okay, I just wanted to do a really quick little book review. I was going to do it on Willow, which I forgot the author's name, but I can't seem to find that book, and I don't like to do book reviews unless I have the book in front of me, unless I can like sort of skim through it before I do the video about it. So today I'm going to do this. It is called Smack by Melvin Burgess or Burgess. I don't know how to pronounce it. Probably Burgess. I don't know. But it is a great read. It says right here, okay, it is about heroin addiction. Okay, it says on the front cover. That's what made me want to get it, and that's the really nasty thing because then, when you're clean, that's when it works so well. Awkward pause. Sorry. I'm hearing things outside my window. My sister works graveyards, and I'm supposed to clean the house, so I wake up early to clean the house before she gets here, because I don't do it the night before because I'm stupid. And I haven't done it yet, and gets off at 6 a.m. and it's 6:11, so I'm sort of paranoid. But back to Smack. One of the reviews on here is from Publishers Weekly. It says, a searing account of two young runaways' descent into heroin addiction and their faltering climb back out will leave an indelible mark on all who read it. Okay, and then there's a review from Voya, whatever that is, hits you smack in the face. It not only has sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but it has elements far more rare. It tells the truth. It doesn't preach. It makes you think. As addictive as the drug it profiles, you will not be able to put it down. And that is the truth. I read this in one sitting in Barnes & Nobles. Bought it a month later, read it again, lost it, bought it about a year later, read it again. It is such a good story. I mean, the author says right here, okay, I will just do this really quickly. There's an excerpt right in the middle. I mean, right on the first page when you open the book. So just to give you an idea. Sometimes maybe you need an experience. The experience can be a person, or it can be a drug. The experience opens a door that was there all the time, but you never saw it. Or maybe it blasts you into outer space. This time it was Lily and Rob and Gemma, spending all that time to make me feel one of them. But it was the drug, too. All that crap about Gemma leaving me, about Mom and Dad, about leaving home, all that negative stuff, all the pain. It just floated away from me. I just floated away from it, up and away. I leaned back and I looked at the book, and I looked at them, and Gemma smiled at me. A big, soft smile, and her eyes were like marbles. Better? She said. And then the author has a little note right here. It says, this book is set roughly in the early and middle 1980s, when I myself was living in Bristol. All the major events have happened, are happening, and will no doubt continue to happen. I saw many of them myself and heard about many more. As for the people here, some are pure invention, some are seeded from real people and then fictionalized, some are fictitious with bits of real people stirred in. This is what got me, okay? The book isn't fact. It isn't even faction. But it's all true. Every word. I was hooked. Okay, there are so many characters. There's not a lot, but there's enough. To give you a different view and perspective on... I mean, it's really about they're squatters in the 80s in England, and they're anarchists. And then some aren't anarchists, they're just along for the ride. And it's just sort of about that whole period and about what was happening. And then, of course, heroin, because heroin was so much a part of that period in time. I mean, it was. And it really profiles it very well. And so you get all these perspectives and different personalities and their view on the events happening. So it's about love also. I mean, you gotta have that in there. It's part of life. So it's a great read. I mean, it's not that long. It's only, like, and it has a little glossary in the back. So it's only 288 pages. So it's a really quick read, really, but it'll stay with you. So that's my review on Smack. I mean, I just can't say any more than read it. Because I know a lot of people don't like reading books about drugs. I mean, why would you if you don't do it? For me, it's because you get a perspective, and going through life without at least a little bit of a knowledged view on things is just ignorant. I mean, you want to be able to have a different view on things than just a closed-minded one. So it was just something to feed my brain, about a subject. It's a really good read. It's a story of people. I mean, what else can you want from a book? Um, Also, so next video I will be doing, probably about Willow. And then there's also the Mortal Instrument series, by Cassandra Clare. I'll probably do one book at a time, but I haven't read these in a while, so I'll have to review them. They're great, though. They're addicting. Really addicting. Currently, I am reading My Personality Flip-Flops. So I read different books at one time. I am reading Shiver by Maggie I can't pronounce her last name. I am so sorry. But it's being called the next Twilight, and that's because it's a romance in the supernatural / paranormal genre. I don't see any similarities to Twilight other than that, though. The writing is so different. It is more poetic, not really detailed on the two people. It is two perspectives. It's the guy and the girl, Grace and Sam. And it's very lyrical and poetic. And it's just sort of about the atmosphere and the feelings, not really about their day-to-day lives. I mean, that's involved, of course, but I mean, you just have to read it to understand. It's really good. So then I'm also reading Looking for Alaska by John Green. I haven't really gotten into it that much, but so many people rave about it, so I'm going to give it a try. I'm only a couple pages in, so I can't say anything about it. And then I am also reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. It's a blah, blah. Look at the lens flare. It's all J.J. Abrams in here, man. Star Trek, the new movie, the director. He likes lens flares. Anyway, Mistborn is I don't want to say sci-fi, fantasy book. It's sort of for people who couldn't really get through Lord of the Rings that well. I've tried. I will try again one day, I promise. But it's sort of who want to read things like that, but yeah. He is finishing the Wheel of Time series, if you know what that is. The author of it died, and so the author of the Wheel of Time series and wife and Brandon Sanderson finished the last book. And so my brother is and my niece are huge fans of the Wheel of Time series, and I've read one of the books, and they're actually very captivating. I mean, it made me kind of realize that Harry Potter is sort of like the teenage version of those type of books. The Wheel of Time series, so if you're into magic or things like that, yeah. And Mistborn, I'm only a couple, 3 chapters in. My niece read it, though, and she said it is great. It is the first in a trilogy. And it seems pretty well. It has, I think, it has 2 main characters, and then it varies from there. It goes to different views sometimes. So I like books that do that. So, I'll be updating you on that, too. So, yeah. That is my book review on Smack.